Hey everybody, it's Chynna from the CW Torch, and today I thought it would be really fun to do another book haul. I realize it's been a couple of months since I did my last book haul, and I thought it'd be fun to share all the books that I bought in the beginning summer months, so in May and June, and I haven't hauled one book I got in April, so I will also show that too. And so yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the haul. So I wanted to share with you guys the book that I received in the April Owl Crate box. I don't think I hauled it in my last book haul, so I thought this would be the perfect time to show you guys. And so that book was Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody, and this is a YA fantasy novel that centers a girl named N, and she is a proper lady who decides to go to the city of New Rains, which is like a city of sin, kind of loosely based on Las Vegas, and no girl that grew up the way N grew up would ever go there. But when her mother goes missing, she kind of is forced to go to the city of Rains because she got a lead on where her mother might be. And when she goes there, she meets a guy named Levi who can kind of be a helpful hand, but he's not really what she expected. So I'm really excited to get into this book pretty soon, maybe closer to the fall, because I feel like it'd be a good Halloween type book, and this definitely seems like a book that's right up my alley. I love dark fantasies, and also the City of Sin sounds really interesting as a setting, so I'm really excited to get into this book. The next book I actually got on my trip to Seattle, which I went to in the beginning of May, and I stumbled upon this little bookshop in the Pike's Place Market, and this book immediately caught my eye because I've read a few other books by this author a long time ago, and I've been wanting to read this actually. But that book is The Yiddish Policeman's Union by Michael Chabon. Michael Chabon is the author of The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, which you might have heard of. That's one of his most popular books, and as well as Telegraph Avenue and Moonglow, a lot of books. And he's kind of an author that I feel like doesn't get talked a lot about on YouTube, and he's one of my favorite authors, and I'm really excited to get into this book because this is one that has just been on my TBR for a while. And this book centers a Jewish detective named Meyer Landsman, and he is in this district that in Alaska where it's kind of like a little Jewish community. They seek refuge there in this district called Sitka during the Holocaust, and when Meyer Landsman discovers that about this homicide that happens, his life kind of also goes in shambles, and it's kind of just about his life and also figuring out this homicide. And yeah, this one just sounds really interesting. I haven't read a lot of books that center around like Jewish communities during the Holocaust, so I'm really interested in learning more about that. Michael Chabon is Jewish, and he also actually lives in Berkeley, which is kind of close to where I live and is a city that is close to home, so I'm just really excited to read more from this local author. I also got this book signed. So I got this book signed because I actually went to a Michael Chabon book signing in Berkeley because he just came out with a new book, but I wasn't actually really interested in the book that he had come out with, so I decided to bring this to get signed because I have no idea where my copy of The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier Clay is. It was so cool to get something signed by him because he is one of my favorite authors. Another book that I actually got in Seattle at the same bookshop is a classic that I've been wanting to read for a while, especially since HBO just did a book-to-movie adaptation on this, and that is Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury. I actually already read this, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't really connect with Ray Bradbury's writing, but I was still really interested in the story because it centers our main character who is living in a dystopian future where firemen actually burn books, and if in this world, like if you have books in your house gets burned along with it. And I just thought that was such an interesting concept because to see like firemen nowadays, they save people from burning buildings, but in this dystopian future they actually burn the buildings if they actually have a book in it. Our main character, Guy Montag, kind of goes through a realization that maybe we shouldn't be burning these books, and he kind of wants to learn more about these books, and it was a lot more religious than I thought it would be. The book that he decides to carry with him and wants to read is actually the Bible. So it was a lot more religious than I thought it would be, and also I didn't really like how he thought of his wife, so that was kind of off-putting. So it wasn't really my favorite book, but I'm glad I read it because it is a classic, and now I can watch the book to movie adaptation, which has Michael B. Jordan in it, and so yeah. Not my favorite book, but still excited for the movie. The next book I actually got in a Go Scribbler subscription box, which is a new subscription box solely for writers and is curated by 2 authors. And I thought this would be a really interesting subscription box to get because I am writing a novel and I am thinking about going to grad school, so I thought this would be a really helpful subscription box. Unfortunately, I wasn't really too impressed with it to actually continue on with the subscription, but I did get a few books from them, and one book that I didn't haul in my last book haul was The Beloveds by Maureen Lindsay. This book is a adult mystery about 2 sisters, Betty and Gloria. And one is like known as the beloved because she is, you know, the perfect child. She has golden locks, she's beautiful and has a captivating smile. But she kind of takes everything away from Betty, including her friend and this estate that was left to her. And Betty isn't too happy with that, so she kind of devises a plan to get what she thought she deserves. And this kind of sounds like an interesting thriller that I might get into the fall months because I am trying to read more adult mystery thrillers. I usually read like adult dystopian and adult fantasy, but I haven't read too many thrillers, and this one sounds really interesting. It kind of reminds me a little bit of The Heathers from the synopsis. They compared it to Daphne du Maurier's Rebecca. So that's really interesting, and the cover is actually really pretty. So I'm probably going to get into this soon, but I wasn't really all that into the Go Scribbler subscription box, but I will put a link to the subscription in case any of you guys are interested. The next couple of books I received in the Owl Crate for the month of May. The theme was Fight Like a Girl, and so the main book that we got was Sky in the Deep by Adrienne Young. This is a YA fantasy that is kind of centered around, I believe it's Scandinavian folklore, but this is about a young girl named, I think it's Aileen. She kind of fights along her tribe against their rivals, which is the Riki clan, and she goes along in battle with them, but then she sees her brother, who she thought died 5 years ago, and he is fighting on the opposite side. She feels betrayed by her brother and is in shock that he's alive, but she decides to figure out how he's alive by going to stay with the Riki clan, where everyone is basically wanting to kill her, but then the Riki clan gets invaded, and so she is forced to help save them as well. So this actually sounds really interesting. I've heard a lot of good reviews on it, and I can't wait to get into it soon. It just sounds like a fantasy novel that I know I will really like, and the main character seems like a very strong and empowered woman. And this is also the Owl Crate exclusive cover, so the original was more gold, this one is more silver, and it is actually signed by Adrienne Young. It is signed by Adrienne Young, and yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one. The second book we actually got in that Owl Crate box is Catching Stars by Kayla Keenan. This was published by Uptones Publishing, and if you don't know, booktuber Benjamin Uptones, now just Ben Alderson, he is actually the founder of Uptones Publishing, and they have included a book from his publishing house a while, I think last year. I wasn't subscribed to Owlcrate last year, so I didn't get it, but this one is kind of a book that I feel like I would love because it centers two witches. Jayan Ijad, I think. She is a witch with powerful abilities, and she kind of carves a life out for her in the slums of Paval, which is a city that is rotting from the inside out. And when she's in this city, she meets someone named Maddox, who was in prison for 2 years for a crime he didn't commit. So when he escapes prison, he seeks out a legendary order of witch hunters to help him seek justice for something that he didn't do. Jayan and Maddox actually meet in the story, and they must put aside their prejudices to forge an uneasy alignment that could crumble at any moment. So I love witch stories, and I've actually read a few from Of Tomes Publishing because I used to be a reviewer for them, but a few of them kind of disappointed me, so I'm like trying not to set my hopes too high for this and hoping that I will like it. I have seen a few good reviews on this book, and a lot of people say it's kind of similar to Game of Thrones-ish, so that kind of sounds interesting, and I love any story centered with witches, so once again, this will probably be a book that I pick up in the fall because it just seems like a good Halloween read. So the next book is a series that I am trying to marathon this year, and that is the third book in the Raven Cycle series, which is Blue Lily Lily Blue. And I'm falling head over heels in love with this series. I wasn't really expecting that, but this is a book that I usually like because it is like a paranormal fantasy. I won't get too much into the synopsis for this because this is the third book, but if you are interested in learning about the synopsis, I will link any related videos in the description box down below where I talk about the first two books. But I'm really hoping to get to this one soon so that I can finish all 4 books and get more into Maggie Stiefvater's other books because I'm really falling in love with her writing, and yeah, I'm just super excited to get into this one. The next book that I got is a book that I'm actually really excited to get to hopefully sometime soon, and that is The Bells by Donnell Clayton. At first I was kind of skeptical based on the synopsis because it kind of seemed a little juvenile, but I've heard really good things about this book, and it kind of brings enlightenment to people of color, and so that's mainly why I want to read this book. And also I got it because the cover is pretty gorgeous and stunning. I love that there are more books being released with African American males and females on the cover, which was something that you really didn't see like 10 years ago. And I feel like there are just more and more books coming out with African American main characters, which I'm super excited about. But The Bells features our main character, and she is from Orleans, which is a fantasy version of New Orleans where everyone is born gray. Everyone except for the people that live in the Palace of Orleans. Everyone in this palace is born with color, and our main character, Camilla Beauregard, she wants to be the belle of the ball, and she wants to actually have color in her, and when she goes to this palace, she realizes that it's not all what it seems. And yeah, this book just sounds really interesting and something that I know I will fall in love with, and I'm just really interested in seeing this world where everyone is born gray, because I know that Donnell Clayton kind of tackles a lot of topics of race and everything in this book. So yeah, I'm really excited to get into this one as well. The next book I just started reading the other day, and The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I watched the 8 Stars series last year and I really liked it, and so I wanted to get the book, but I wasn't in the mood to read historical fictions until now. So if you guys know Philippa Gregory, you know that she is like the queen of historical fiction and the Tudors and all of that. But The White Queen follows the story of Elizabeth Woodville, who marries Edward, I think it's Edward the Eighth. And this was kind of shocking to the kingdom because she was just like a normal farm girl. She didn't have any royal blood in her, and they kind of go against the grain. And this follows the Battle of the Lancasters and the Yorks, which is called the Battle of the White Rose. And I really loved the Starz show, so I'm really hoping that I love this book even more. There is a whole series that centers the Tudors, but this is like the beginnings of the Tudors and of the Tudor era. And there's actually a book before this called The Red Queen, but I wanted to read The White Queen first because I know that story and I just want to learn more about that story, and if I like it, I'll continue on with the series. The next book I bought, I've been really interested in for a while now, and that is Wicked Like a Wildfire by Lana Popovich. This is a magical realism fantasy story about these sisters who have the power to gleam. So Melina has the unique ability to manipulate, to see flowers as fractals and turn kaleidoscope visions into glasswork, and then Melina can interpret moods by music. And unfortunately their mothers never allowed them to use their magic, but when their mother gets mysteriously attacked, they are kind of forced to use their magic and to unearth the truth behind the quiet lives that their mother has built for them. They actually will discover a secret about their family line. Yeah, so this one sounds super interesting to me. Setting is kind of based off of Murano, which is a city, which is an island close to Venice, and they are actually known for glasswork, and one of these sisters, she can create glass out of flowers. So that just sounds really interesting to me, and I really love magical realism, and this one just really caught my eye. The cover is absolutely gorgeous, and that's one of the reasons why I did buy it. But I'm really interested to get into this one. Like I said earlier, I love books about witches and magical powers, and this one just sounds super interesting to me, and I can't wait to get into it. The last book I purchased recently is Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, and this is the sequel to Scythe from the Arc of the Scythe series, and I recently read Scythe. I do have a full review up on my blog, which I will link down below if you are interested. I won't go too much into the synopsis of Thunderhead because it will spoil stuff for Scythe, but if you are interested in knowing what Scythe is about, I would definitely check out that review that I have, and I will link any related videos that I have of that book. But yeah, I have fallen in love with Neil Shusterman's writing style and really want to finish Thunderhead sometime soon so I can read his other series, such as the Unbound series, I think it's called. He just has like this theme of death within his books, which really intrigues me, and Scythe did not let down, so I'm hoping to get to this soon because so many people have talked about it and I want to be in that hype. Alright, so the last book I actually wanted to share with you guys in a little unboxing, and this is the book that I got in the June Summer 11 Owl Crate box. I've actually already opened it because I couldn't wait for it. I'm going to do like a little haul, and yeah, so there is the spoiler card, definitely very summery, and just really makes me want to read outside, which I normally don't do. I usually read inside. One of the items that was really cool that we got was actually this little beach towel, and it's like microfiber, so like the sand doesn't get trapped in the towel. And it says, "My summer is all booked," and it has like this really beachy scene with like a stack of books and a coconut, and it's actually pretty long. But yeah, it's kind of hard to show you guys because it is so long, but I thought this was such a cool item and like something I haven't seen in a lot of other subscription boxes, and also something new from Owl Crate, and I feel like they're kind of stepping up their game in the last couple of boxes. So this was one of my favorite items. That was actually created by Stella Bookish Art. They've included a lot of items from her, and they all have been great. Like I have a wall tapestry that was created by her. The next one I also really loved, and it's this Owl Crate exclusive mug that came into this cute box of like summery symbols and things. So yeah, it's this really cool mason jar mug that you can actually take to go because it has a lid on it, and it says bookworm and proud, and it's really cool. It has like an ombre effect, and this is just another item that I thought was really cool that I haven't really seen in any subscription boxes before. And this was designed by Michelle Gray and Team Owl Crate. So that's really cool. I'm definitely going to be using this for like iced tea and even coffee. It says you can use. It is dishwasher safe, so that's also really handy. The next item that we got was this really cool wooden bookmark from Ink and Wonder, and it says summer was a book of hope, and it has this beautiful drawing of like the mountains, just like really pretty sunset in the background. I really like the art style here. I don't own any wooden bookmarks. Those seem like a really interesting concept to me, and I feel like they're a lot more durable than paper bookmarks. This was, like I said, designed by Ink and Wonder and inspired by Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire-Sans, which is a book that I really want to read maybe sometime soon because I feel like that's just the perfect summer read. Yeah, I really love this, and I will definitely be using this a lot. Next item was this pen. So it actually says that it's a cute cactus pen, but I didn't get a cactus. I got like, I think it's a strawberry, and it says Sunny Day. And this is from BC Mini. It's a really fine tip pen like that. This was like a super cute little addition. And I always love collecting pens for writing on the go and stuff when I don't feel like carrying my laptop anywhere, so these always come in handy. I also got a tea from Riddle's Tea Shop, and this is Apple Picking at Night, which is summer apple and peach tea, which sounds really delicious. I love peach, like any peach teas I love. And also like you can create an iced tea to actually put in your mason jar mug, which I really thought was cool. And these are tea bags. They usually put loose tea whenever they do tea in a subscription box, so I thought that was really awesome that they did tea bags, because I tend to use tea bags more than loose tea because I don't have like a mulling ball or anything. I'm really excited to taste this and drink it while I'm reading my summer contemporary book. We got a little keychain that actually goes along with the book that we got, and it's like a little popcorn keychain, and it says the title of the book, which I'll show you next. That is from Twinkle with Love by Zendaya Menon, who wrote When Dimple Met Rishi, which was her debut last year. And I've heard a lot of good things about When Dimple Met Rishi, but when I started reading, I wasn't really in a contemporary mood, but now I'm trying to read more contemporary books. But this one sounds really cute and really charming, and it's about Twinkle Mehra, who has stories she wants to tell and universes she wants to explore. If only the world would listen. So when film geek Sahil Roy approaches her to direct a movie for her upcoming Midsummer Nights Film Arts Festival, Twinkle is all over it. The chance to publicly showcase her voice as a director, dream come true. The fact that it gets to her closer to longtime crush Neil Roy, aka Sahil's twin brother, dream comes true times 2. When Mystery Man N, in quotation marks, begins emailing her, Twinkle is sure it's Neil, finally ready to begin their happily ever after. The only slightly inconvenient problem is that in the course of movie making, she's fallen in love with the irresistibly adorable Sahil. Twinkle soon realizes that resistance is futile. The romance she's got is not the one she scripted, but will it be? Told through the letters Twinkle writes to her favorite female filmmakers, from Twinkle with Love navigates big truths about friendship, family, and unexpected places love can find you. So this sounds like the perfect summer contemporary novel. This isn't really the type of book that I usually read, but I know there's like diverse representation in here with our main character being Indian, and I know Sanjaya Menon is Indian as well, so it's kind of an own voices novel, and I'm not sure if I'll read this first. I might read When Dimple Met Rishi. If I like When Dimple Met Rishi, I will definitely pick that up right after. But this is the Owl Crate exclusive cover, and they changed the sari that she's wearing, and also the paint strokes are a different color from the original. The inside of the dust jacket is really gorgeous. It's like a yellow and blue, and I think that's also how the original looks. And then it's also signed by Zendaya. Super excited about this one, and I loved all the items in this Owl Crate box. I will put a link in the description box down below if you are interested in purchasing the Owl Crate box. I feel like they've been really stepping up their games, and with the items, especially this box, I absolutely love. Yeah, that is the last book I got so far in these summer months. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I love doing book hauls and sharing the books that I have purchased or have received. Let me know what books that you have purchased in the last couple of months and what books you are hoping to get into soon. As always, I will leave any related links in the description box down below, as well as on my social media platforms. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So this is Chynna from the CW Torch signing off, and ta-ta for now, and happy reading. Bye!